Okay, guys, been a while since I did a Macross video, but I needed to talk about this because I just happened to see it. And just in case you know, look at the bottom left. That's my Twitter account. Um, but mostly follow me in Gab or something, or on the Fediverse, but not here. But if you want to, you can. I'm not gonna stop you. Anyway, remember I was talking a little bit ago about the fact they were releasing a VF22S of Gumlin. It was premium Bandai, and it sold out like almost immediately. And I said, if they're doing Gumlin already, they're gonna do Max and Miria, right? Da da da. We're getting Max and Miria. They have been both confirmed at the same time. So we're getting both of them. And, of course, because, there are very few of these out there. I've talked about my Yamato Miria, which is 1/60th scale. And it's... I can't get my hands on a max. Like, it's damn near impossible to find a max. Or a Gumlin for that matter. They're both hard as hell to find. Now they're releasing these. They haven't announced exactly. They just announced today that that these are going to get released. They just better stinking be like in stores, not some premium Bandai, you know, limited edition thing, because it's gonna be too. There's no way they're gonna be able to have enough. They're not going to have enough, and Max and Miria are popular characters, and there's not enough of the VF22s out there originally. Like they did a Max like fighter only. I think Hasegawa did a Max only one, and it was fighter only. Couldn't transform. Couldn't do anything. The only other things that I know of that have been done with the F-22S, there was a fighter, I believe, that was done off of a special, like, separate, like, battalion or battle group or something. It was it's like no, like, official story. It was just kind of like, out for the plastic model kits. Oh, this is like the Angel Birds kind of thing. And so the only other things I know of that they've done of, the VF-22s for Max and Myriad at least have been the Yamato toys. And those have been out of production for over a decade. And I'm lucky. I got my Miria brand new from Volks. I saw it one day. I'm like, Miria VF-22, yes! And I just bought it right there on the spot. I just happened to be at Volks that day. And so that's how I got my Miria. If I did not buy my Miria then, I would not have it, and I would never find it. It's that simple. There would be no way to find a Miria VF-22S from Yamato. It's impossible. You can find the Maxes sometimes, you can find the Gumlin sometimes, but the Miria is like nowhere. Zero. I haven't seen one on any auction site for a very, very, very long time of Miria. I've seen them for, Max and Gumlin, but not Miria. So, I'm very lucky to have that. So, we've got the official announcement today, August 19th at noon, to Gogo Deiji, which is noon, which is about 4 hours ago. We get the official announcement that we're getting Bandai made high grade 1/100 scale VF-22S of Max and Miria. Oh boy, am I happy about this. Oh, I am so happy. I'm buying 2 of each. One to build and one for collection. Because I ain't taking the chances. I want 2 of each. Just because Max and Miria. I don't even care about anything else. I just want one of each because I want two of each because Max and Miria. Now I bring that up, and there was something else I wanted to bring up as well. Um, but I'll just leave this on the screen. But I'll talk about it anyway. Um, I went out yesterday. I picked up the Gundam X Remaster Edition comics. There's only 3 of them. The included, after the series end story was stupid. It was nice to see Tifa and Garodo together, but they did some things in that story that really bothered me. So I don't know if I recommend it. It's only 3 books, but it covers like most of it is just rehashing the TV series. It's really all it is. It was rehashing over like main events of the TV series, and I was basically wasn't anything worthwhile there. On the other hand, Hobby Japan, Senchineru, which is a toy maker, and what was it, Tatsunoko Pro, have decided some time ago, and I managed to pick this book up yesterday, called Genesis Breaker. This is the first new installment of Mospita in 40 years. They got the original mecha designers to come back, and they basically did most of the story stuff. Too bad they couldn't get Amano Yoshitaka to do the artwork. They got another guy who's really famous. He did Dumbine. I believe he did Elgheim as well. So, yeah. I am superbly happy with that. I started reading, reading the interviews with the creators and stuff, and what they've gone through and things they've talked about. Like, I skimmed through most of it. I haven't read the actual, novel parts of it yet, but it looks, they're taking, because Mospita was only 25 episodes, and they did like some little like after story thing that involved Yellow, like I don't want to call it OVA, but it was kind of like an OVA. I don't know, but the what is it? This one is like it's a side story that takes place at the same time as the TV series, and it's got new ride armors. It's like it's got some cool stuff in it. Like they said, because there was so, like, they weren't able to go into much detail about the Invid, and they weren't able to do a lot of things with just the 25 episodes of the TV series, that they wanted to expand on the lore a lot, and they seem to have done quite a good job of it. Because I haven't read it yet, I can't give a full, review of this. I'll do that in a separate video once I finish reading it. But yeah, I am very happy with that purchase. Even though I don't really have the money to be buying that, but right now anyway. But I had to get it. The minute the guy at Volks let me opened up the old plastic around it so that I could look through it, and I immediately bought it. I was like, this is cool, and because Mospita is Mospita. Mospita in and of itself is a really interesting series, even though it's like it was a fuck you from Tatsunoko to Kawamori and the people that worked on Macross. They're like, well, screw you guys, we can make our own. And it was basically designed to be, a Macross clone to basically fuck you to Kawamori. So I'm perfectly fine with that, because it's actually, if you take it away from that whole aspect, look at it as just a series as itself. Speed is actually really interesting for as short as it is. So I highly, highly recommend people watch Mospita. Not the Robotech version, because that's they have not. It has nothing to do with Macross. It's completely unrelated to it, and you should watch it as It was meant to be watched as a separate series, disconnected from all that other stuff, and you'll have a different perspective of the series, and you'll enjoy it a lot more. I think it's a great series. If you ignore the English version of it's absolutely amazing. Anyway, just wanted to do a quick video because I saw this and I had to talk about it. I'm like, yes, please more. Please more Max and Miria. Please, please, please. Well, we got the move. I need to build my models that I have here. You know, like my Quadrados, my Max and Miria movie editions, and my Max Durandal, which I think I might build today because I just feel like building it. But anyway, and I still have my Fire Valkyrie to build too, so I got all these things to build, so I better get to work, huh? I also I never actually got around to finishing my Rigazi Custom, the premium Bandai that has the AK-47 for the gun, because that's like the coolest thing about it. I never got around to finishing that. I did like part of it, but anyway, just want to talk about this. I'm I knew it was coming, but seeing the actual official announcement from Bandai Spirits makes me so happy. I'm so happy because it's Max and Miria again. Yes. Now we just need what I want. Please, please, Bandai, do this. Please get into really minor, outside of the realm territory. Do high grades of the VF-25s of Max and Miria from the Sayonara no Tsubasa movie novelization. Please, I want a red and blue Max and Miria Messiah. Oh, please. That would be amazing. I don't like the Messiah as a design, but please, it's Max and Miria, please. Or we can get even more minor, go back to Macross M3 and, like maybe Miria's VF11 or maybe VF4s, because Max and Miria flew the VF4s. They also flew flew the VF9s also, I believe. Because they were testing all the new stuff. So they did a lot of testing of all these new Valkyries back then. So, yeah, I really want, if Bandai is coming out to test the waters, they release the YF-19. I understand that. The YF-19 is, you could sell that anywhere in the world because everybody knows Isamu. I have zero. I'm not a big fan of Macross Plus. I do like Isamu as a character, but the way Kawamochi's been having all the characters, that little hand thing of the fighter, since then, outside of Macross 7 and Macross 0, like Aruto and all of them do it, and then Hayate and Mirage are doing it in Delta and all that stuff. It weakens Isamu's position, which I feel really bad because I think Isamu is actually an interesting character. He's not ever going to be able to beat Max, though. Remember that. We all know in the Macross universe, the best pilot in Macross is Max. There's no question, period, end of story. But, and I get why they released the YF-19 first. It's completely understandable why they went that direction. Then they did the YF-29 from, like Aruto's one, and then, of course, to like do stuff for Zettai Live, they had to release Max's Durandal, so I get that. They haven't done any Siegfrieds though, which is really surprising. I'm surprised they haven't done those. And then they did the YF-21, and then so what we got so far is the YF-19, the YF-29, then we have the YF-21, and then we got the VF-19 Fire Valkyrie, which at the same time came with the announcement for the VF-22S for Gamening, that's coming out next month. And then we're getting this. Because they can just use the molds over again. This is why they're doing it, because they can just reuse the molds, so they're Bandai's being cheap about it, but if it's Max and Miria, I don't care if they're being cheap about it because they're just reusing the molds. I still want them. Screw that. Gives me that. But I think I'm hoping that they do something different soon, because we've done. So if you think about all the high grades that they've released so far for the Macross stuff, they're all they start with the base model, which would be like the YF-19 or the YF-21, and they're doing different variations of those. Well, the YF-29 also they did 1929 then 21, and so that means that they can recolor them and just use the same plastic, and they can use the same molds, which is how we got the Max one. Except the Max one is actually better value than the Auto one, because the Auto one doesn't come with the super parts included. You have to buy them separately. The Max one comes with the super parts. So it's a little more expensive than Auto at the base price level, but it's got the super parts included, which the super parts separate with the Auto one were actually more expensive than the Max one combined. So, and to find the Auto one is actually really hard, and it's not cheap to buy that one. So, and now we're getting another recolor of a mold that they've already finished, which is the 21. So let's see when they're gonna come out with something original, something different that's not based off of either of those three original molds. And because I personally would like to see some stuff that we haven't seen before, like a metal siren, which I seriously doubt, but we can pray, right? Or maybe let's get a VF-17, like VF-17D or VF-17S from uh, Macross 7, because we haven't gotten a VF-17 model kit in so, like, we've gotten the VF-171s, the Nightmare Pluses, and we've got Autoto's one that was only the fighter version. We haven't actually had like the ones from Macross 7, like a model kit for it in decades. We had figures, of course. Yamato had a figure for them, over a decade ago, way over a decade ago, almost 20 years ago at this point. Um, we had the toys back when 7 was airing, but we've got so little of that. We've gotten so little of the that fighter. We've got so little of the VF-19S, the Blazer Valkyrie, which I have the high metal version of it, but that's like impossible to find to begin with anymore. But like we have almost nothing of the VF-19S or VF-19. Was it the A or the S? I think it was the A is like the standard type, and the S is the commander type. We haven't had. What else we haven't had? We haven't had the Erugazoran or whatever they are from Macross 7, the enemy Valkyries that are based on the VF-14 Vampire. We haven't had a VF-14 Vampire either, by the way, anywhere. Which would be really cool to have. We haven't had the VF-9 Cutlass. We've had a few VF4s here and there, just because it's in Flashback 2012. We haven't had. What else haven't we had? You know what we haven't had that would have been really cool that could have gotten made? Is some of the Bajira. They could have done some cool model kits of the Bajira, I think. Like the Ogata Bajira. Oh, I would buy a model kit of that. That thing is cool. I like as much as I like to take a dump on Macross Frontier. I think the idea of the Bajira is absolutely amazing. So I don't want people to think, like I'm all hate on Macross Frontier. I think the Bajira are really cool as an enemy, and as a like in the Macross universe. I think they're really cool. I think we need some model kits of the Bajira. Please, please, those would be so cool. Um, let's see, what else could we have? we've gotten a lot of Rigado, but let's see. You know what we've never gotten is a Quadron Kirke, which is the Quadron type that Emilia has in the Macross 7 movie, right? We've never gotten that. That would be cool to have. Um, let's see. I mean, Hasegawa would probably have to do that one, but you know, I please Hasegawa do that. um, let's see, what else haven't we had? Um, we haven't had a Mylene or Storm Valkyrie in God. I think we've only had one Mylene Valkyrie plastic model kit from Macross 7 going back 30 years. That was the last time I think we had a Mylene Valkyrie plastic model kit, and it was a 1/100 scale that couldn't transform, and the Batroid and the fighter were separate. They were two separate things. I think that's the only time we've had a Mylene Valkyrie anywhere. They constantly make Fire Valkyries. They never make the Mylene, and they never make the Storm. And the Storm is the one that the Rei and Behita are in. We never get the Storm Valkyrie. I think they did do one Storm Valkyrie back 30 years ago, but that was it. And it's very, very, very hard to find. And it's based on the VF-17. And it's like, well, just make a VF-17 and then you can recast it for the VF-171, and then you could you could do the Storm Valkyrie out of that. You know, they could do these things, and they don't. We haven't had so many of these things, which is why I'm hoping, now that we finally have the Max and Miria VF-22s, that we get some of these other Macross 7 stuff that we didn't get decades ago, like, you know, the Proto Devlin fighters and stuff. You know, this is the kind of stuff that most of us Macross fans have wanted for a very, very long time, and I'm sure by, you know, me saying release Bajira plastic model kits, they might be hard to make, but you know, Bandai over 10 years ago did a high grade UC of the High Gog, and it was actually pretty decent. And their technology is way better now. They could do a Bajira. Like, I mean, seriously, just do it. But I have a feeling we're gonna get the Messiah, or maybe the Siegfrieds next, sadly. But I think before all that, we might get some of the 7 stuff, just because it's the 30th anniversary of 7 this year, and they're, well, of course, the 40th anniversary of 40th anniversary of Macross was a couple of years ago. But we've got the 30th anniversary of Macross 7 this year, so I'm hoping that we get some of the other minor stuff from 7, which is, I think, why we are getting the Gomring and the Maximiria Sturmvogels, is because of the Macross 7 anniversary, which makes me happy. But, you know, like, there's a lot of other stuff they could make that we've never had before, and I'm like, if they release like Ogata Kogata Bajira figures, like plastic model kits or something, those would sell like crazy because they've never been made before, and I'm sure people would want to put them next to their Messiahs and stuff. That would be really cool. Like dioramas of, you know, the Messiahs fighting with the with the Bajira would be really cool. But, you know, who knows? I know there's all a bunch of speculation, but there's so much stuff that they've never done that now that Bandai is actually putting some effort into Macross stuff, hopefully we'll get some good plastic bottle kits soon. We're getting the 2 that I've wanted forever, and that's Maximiria's Sturmvogels, but we still need a VF1 in the high grade line. We haven't gotten a VF1 yet. And the VF1s are really easy because they're all the same except for the heads. Literally. We could have Roy, Ichijo, Max, Miria, Kakizaki all at once. And then all the variations, like we get the Angel Birds ones, we can get a whole bunch of other stuff in there too. So, you know, there's a lot of room to work around. Now, what would be really cool plastic model kit that we've only had, I think Hasegawa did one a while ago, is the VF19 Ravens, which is from VFX2, which is from the game Macross VFX2. It's another, recolor of the, of the YF19 basically. But that would be kind of cool to have in high grade. I think the Ravens one would be kind of cool to have, but who knows? They've just started this line, so they're still feeling their way out a lot of stuff, but they're selling well because it's the Fire Valkyrie. I saw quite a few, and I guess maybe because they got some stock in or something, but I'm seeing a lot of Max Durandals, and I'm seeing a lot of Fire Valkyries not sold, but the Aruto Durandal is like sold out. Like it's sold out everywhere. The YF19 is harder than heck to find. The YF21 is harder than heck to find. Like you can't find a YF21 brand new. It's only used. You can get it now. That's how popular those were. So because I guess they're reproducing all these so much. That's why they're not selling as well. But who knows? And one more Macross toy news thing that I forgot to mention is they're doing a revive version of the Chogokin DX Siegfried Hayate Siegfried. So we may be getting a Mirage soon too. Just wanted to put that out there. I think it comes out next month. I think I saw the Yodobashi Kamina. They had the little thing up there for when it was being released. I think it's next month. It's expensive, like 33,000 yen, but it's a revive version. So they've like kind of done an update to the Siegfried Chogo King, that they released a few years ago to go along with the Macross Zelda TV series. And if you like the Chogokin stuff, go for it. I would only buy a Chogokin if it was something like the Max and Miria's stuff. But that's just me because I don't have bazillions upon bazillions of dollars to be spending on this stuff. So I kind of have to be selective with what I buy and what I don't. So. But I will do an update when I get a release date on these. And like I said, you can follow me at Twitter if you want to. It's down here. And you can... What I don't like about it is that they... Like... It's hard to... Like, for some reason, they consider my account like a bot account for some reason. And I don't know why. Maybe because I type fast and, like, I can, type a bunch of messages all at once. I don't know. But my account's considered a bot account for some stupid reason. Anyway, so if you want to follow me, you can do that. It's at Unkokishi88. Those who know will know. But you can find me there. Anyway, just wanted to let everybody know what's going on and the great news. So see you next time.